Okay, so we recognize that there's junk in the emotional junk drawer. We've identified some of the junk, the emotional junk. But how does one clean it out in the presence of an attorney mediator, or are they in need of cleaning that out before they ever get to you?
They really should do that before they start the divorce process. Really, I have to say that when people have done work with therapists and really delved into what is motivating them, where those feelings are coming from, and sort of done some healing work, it makes all the difference in terms of how the mediation goes. When people do that kind of work, they become the ideal mediation clients. Even if haven't done a lot of that work, but some of that work, you can definitely see the difference. I had mediation clients this week, and money was a big issue for one of
Mm.
the people. And wow, the defensive posture that was being taken was amazingly um, offensive in some respects, certainly to the other person. But then when we pulled back and they took a deep breath, the person started saying things that I could tell were verbatim from going through counseling and some coaching.
Mhm,
So they were reaching
mhm,
into their toolbox for that, because clearly they'd done some work with a therapist to clean out the emotional junk drawer,
mhm,
and realized certain things that were not useful, even if they were grabbing to get them back in
mhm.
the defensive process. They realized a different tool was going to work better. Sort of like, you have a knife and a scissors, and you can't find the scissors, and you're trying to cut a piece of paper with the knife, and you realize this isn't working. So you
Mhm,
dig deeper and you find the scissors, which is the better
mhm,
tool, and
mhm.
you can, accomplish the job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I would imagine, though, for those who haven't done that work with a therapist and they show up with stuff in their junk drawer with you, what do you do?
So, a lot of times what I do is, I I kind of ask them to take a deep breath, and I ask just one person to talk at a time. I acknowledge that I understand you're upset, and I definitely want to hear what you have to say, but take a deep breath and let me hear both sides. And then I will validate both people as being good partners, good parents, and um, then I will say to them, especially if it's custody, do you want your children to go through the pain that you're going through now? Um, because if you don't change the way you're interacting, this is the only template they have for a relationship.
Mhm,
And they're likely to repeat the patterns that you're showing them, because you can't do what you don't know. So if you continue to use the tools that have failed you in your marriage to co-parent together, you're going to fail at co-parenting, and you're going to cause your children even more pain than they're already in, because you've imploded their universe, because you didn't work on your relationship tools in the way that might have helped. That, I hate to say, sometimes really draws a tear. That
mm,
strikes home,
mm,
because the people can relate to their own pain. And really, when it comes to children, parents, in a lot of respects, are projecting their own childhood trauma on their kids, or their own trauma within the relationship on their children. And while they think they're doing things in service of the children, what they're actually doing is firing emotional volleys over their kids that are in their emotional foxholes, and they are not protecting their kids the way they want to. And again, that's all that's where the work comes in. If you go in that emotional junk drawer and you dig a little deeper, and I don't know, you find that slingshot you buried in the back that you didn't realize, and the memory comes back of, wow, when somebody took that slingshot and let go, and that, you know, ball or whatever was in the slingshot hit me, you know, all of those emotions come up again. You know, how it hurt, how, you know, you were scared, you were crying, whatever. And it's as if it's happening right there. But emotionally, when that kind of stuff happens, people have buried that stuff so deep. They have these visceral reactions, but they're almost not sure where they're coming from. They think they're coming from in the moment, but if they step back and look at what is actually happening, they realize this has nothing to do with what's going on in front of them.